So the first feedback that we have for 2014 is a wrap-up of December 2013. December proved to be a pretty busy month with lots of interesting news coming through. This month's report's about 70 pages, so there's a huge amount of information in here. So to start, let's have a look what we're highlighting. MTN launched a product called Stepper, which is their first branded smartphone. It's an Android-based phone, probably going to be available in early 2014. A little bit concerned that they're running Gingerbread on it. It's an older version of Android, which is a bit disappointing, but they're probably doing that to keep the hardware costs down. So that's interesting, and it's one of the first branded smartphones. There's interesting news about a South African app called Snap Cab. It's pretty similar to the likes of Uber. They're making some good inroads into the call a taxi app space. Another very interesting story out of Africa is from Hershey's. Hershey's chocolate, big brand in the States. They have created this program called Cocoa Link for the cocoa farmers. Obviously, chocolate supply is a huge issue for them, and they have let me have a look here quickly. They've got 40,000 Ghanaian cocoa farmers registered to their SMS service, and have had over 800,000 messages sent to these farmers in the last year or so that have been around how to better their crops. So it's a brilliant example of helping agriculture and rural agriculture improve. Other interesting things, a local South African innovation called Air Taxi, allowing taxi drivers to receive payment through airtime, which is quite interesting. So you can top up your airtime and then pay your taxi driver through that airtime, there's an element of credit on it. So you can pay for a trip before you've loaded the airtime, and then the taxi driver will be allocated that airtime when you next top up. Very interesting innovation, and sure it's going to help a lot of people that don't have the cash there and then. Interestingly, BBM has been slated to be installed on a new range of LG smartphones. It's the first pre-installation at factory of BBM on non-BlackBerry devices. So that's interesting for LG users. MTN rolling out some mobile internet cafes in South Africa, trying to take connectivity to the broader public. You can read about that as well. Very interesting for me, I've just come back from being abroad, and an SMS I received while I was there said, be aware that roaming is going to cost you, or data roaming is going to cost you 102 Rand 50 per megabyte of data, which is just ludicrous. There's no reason for that. And Vodacom has launched a service called Travel Saver that you're going to pay 2 Rand a meg for data while you're roaming. So a very, very good innovation from Vodacom in that space. MTN's said to be in talks with Telecom around sharing revenue. There's lots of talk around Telecom and what their plans are for the year. This is the one story. The other story is the possible link-up between the possible link-up between Telecom Mobile and Cell C, so we'll see where that goes. And then there's some more interesting African stats. The one it's a little bit late to the market, but everyone's heard about it, is the Amazon plan to use drones to deliver packages. Interesting. It's a fair while off right now, but interesting in terms of their own ambitions to do that last mile delivery. At the end of this report this month, we've got some LinkedIn stats for South Africa. So we've got South African, Egyptian, Nigerian, Kenyan, and Ghanaian LinkedIn stats. Just a quick summary. There are about 1 million active users on LinkedIn in South Africa, about 2.5–3 million registered users, but those are the active users, and you can get all the other stats at the back of the book. And then finally, the last section, we've got the top trending searches in South Africa versus global searches for last year, and at the top of the list came in December was Nelson Mandela, and internationally as well, Nelson Mandela was #1 in terms of searches. So there it is, another great monthly report. Have a look at it. You'll find it on native.co.za.